What's up, everybody? Tiger Joker here with the new name, new logo, Tiger Joker Unleashed. Still the same old me, just a little change, rebranding, if you would say. Um, nothing, nothing bad, just was notified that my old podcast name was also the name of another podcast. No hard feelings. Nothing wrong with a little change here and there. So rebranded, if you would say, now Tiger Joker Unleashed. New logo, not just purple and gold, a little cover, a little black and gold as well. Cover more Louisiana sports, not just LSU. The name is Tiger Joker, but I'm a fan of all Louisiana sports. Um, Check out the chat real quick. Uncle Randy's in the chat. First time to have Uncle Randy in the chat. I feel so blessed. I've seen Uncle Randy in many other chats, and I told him, I said, the day you come into my chat is the day I know I made it, and he's here. So I appreciate you, Uncle Randy, being in here. We're going to talk about a lot. We're going to start out with a little draft talk. Former LSU Tiger got drafted, as well as the Saints draft. We're going to talk about this past week with LSU baseball, the highs and the lows of things that went on. We're also going to talk about what's coming up this weekend. Tigers travel to Starkville, take on Mississippi State. We'll look ahead to that. First game today has been moved up to 3 o'clock, if you didn't know, because of weather. So a little early start. Tigers looking to make a push that we all know they can. Will they take advantage of it? But first, we're going to start out with a little draft talk. Before we do that, Uncle Randy says that Tiger fitty cap is epic. Yeah, it is. I actually got this last year off a TikTok shop. So go out, check it out, go find it. It's a pretty nice hat. If you can't tell, I am a hat collector. I have plenty. I have plenty more that's not up here that I'm going to make room for. I'm in the process of getting all this set up. This is doing the podcast was something I've always wanted to do, but never pursued it. And watching other people pursue it and do a great job at it pushed me to want to do it, pushed me to want to pursue a passion that I've always had. And that's just talking sports. LSU, Saints, Pelicans. I'm not ashamed to say that, I haven't been a huge Pelicans fan. I've watched them, but I really haven't followed them. Getting the chance to talk about them will make me become more of a fan of the Pelicans, and I look forward to it. But we're going to start out with a little draft talk. So former LSU Tiger, Mansour Delane, would be the first Tiger picked in this year's draft, just like we knew would happen. After coming over from Virginia Tech, played 1 year for the Tigers. Many projected to be the first corner off the board, and was he? He'd be picked 6 by the Kansas City Chiefs, who would trade up to get him. Now, I'm not saying that the Saints would have drafted Delane if available, but Kansas City moving up to in front of the Saints to pick a prospect that the Saints were going after maybe brings back so many memories. And if you know what I'm talking about, 2017, the Saints sat at number 12 and had one name in mind, Patrick Mahomes. And we're going to draft Patrick Mahomes. But Kansas City jumped up to 11 and took Patrick Mahomes before the Saints could draft him, which led to the Saints drafting Marshawn Lattimore and Patrick Mahomes going to Kansas City. and having the career he has had. You think if he comes to New Orleans, he sits behind Brees a year, maybe two, takes over for Brees when Brees retires, and has that career in New Orleans. With the leadership of Sean Payton, what could have happened is awesome. Sean Payton probably doesn't retire and leave New Orleans. He probably still here. Kansas City doesn't go on to win the Super Bowls that they have, don't go on to have the success they had. And that's all changed because Kansas City trades up to get in front of the Saints to draft Patrick Mahomes. Now, again, last night, I'm not saying that Mansour was the Saints' pick at 8, but Kansas City jumps up to 6 and drafted him. Good place for him. Happy for him. He came to LSU 1 year after being at Virginia Tech, where you could say that he was the best roster, the free transfer portal pickup of this LSU team. He would go on to have an All-American career, not winning the Thorpe Award, which many believe that he should. Instead, went to Caleb Downs, who was well-deserved himself, but in my opinion, and you could say is biased, Delane had a better year than Downs. You see the elevation he had under Corey Raymond, under Blake Baker, who both were at the draft last night in Pittsburgh after practice at LSU yesterday. That MMR jet getting them flyer miles in for sure. But very happy for the lane. Just another member of DBU to go in the first round. He joins former Tigers, Derek Stingley, Trey White, Mo Claiborne, Patrick Peterson, as well as the safeties, Jamal Adams, Eric Reed, LaRon Landry, all part of LSU, drafted in the first round from the defensive backfield. Now, not all of them were coached by Corey Raymond, but that just shows you the caliber of coach that he is. So congratulations to Mansour. Look forward to watching his NFL career, and best of luck to him. So speaking of Downs, when the Saints would come on the board at 8, they had many options. Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, and my number one choice, Jordan Tyson. And when Saints made the pick of Jordan Tyson, I was happy. I said that I want Jordan Tyson as the first round pick. I didn't think he would be available, but it's who I wanted. And if he wasn't available, I would have liked Caleb Downs. I'd have liked Delane, someone like that, and then go after a guy like Chris Barrow in the second round. But when the Saints got on the clock, Jordan Tyson was available. The pick was made. Jordan Tyson was the pick, which gives the Saints a bona fide wide receiver 2 to maybe start his career. Definitely could elevate to a wide receiver 1. But you pair him with Chris Olave, who he's coming off of his, best year as a professional. And you look at the things that he can do with someone like Jordan Tyson in the receiving room. Not to mention someone like Vele, who at the end of the year was really playing well once Tyler Shough took over at quarterback before his injury. You also have a guy like Jalen Polk, who missed all of last year, was a second-round pick by New England, which the Saints traded for, knowing that he would miss the entire year, but he is part of your wide receiver room as well. So you have Olave, Jordan Tyson, Vele, Jalen Polk. That's a good top 4 wide receivers. You pair that with the second year of Tyler Shuck, who looked really, really good after taking over for Spencer Rattler last year, and the signing of Travis Etienne. Now, I know he goes by HEN now or whatever he says. I'm still going to call him Travis Etienne. It's what I've called him forever, and I'm not going to change. But I'm excited to see him in this offense. You also have Alvin Kamara, who is getting up in age, but is still productive. So big things, coming for the Saints offense. So we look a little bit further into Jordan Tyson. He started his career at Colorado, where he played his freshman year. He had 22 catches for 470 yards and 4 touchdowns. He would then transfer to Arizona State. His sophomore year at Arizona State, he would get injured and not see much action, no stats recorded, and take a medical redshirt. Now, his redshirt sophomore year is where things really, really looked up. 2024 Arizona State football team, which many remember, Cam Skattebo, making the college football playoffs and losing to Texas. But the year that Jordan Tyson had that year with, who was his quarterback? I can't remember. Oh, Sam Leavitt, who is now at LSU. In 2024, Tyson put up 1,101 yards on 75 catches and 10 touchdowns. In the Arizona State offense, led by Sam Leavitt. His third year, he'd only play in 9 games, would still have 61 catches, 711 yards, and 8 touchdowns in a year that Sam Leavitt didn't play much because of his injury and all that. So in his career, you're looking at 158 catches, 2,282 yards, and 22 touchdowns. To say that I'm excited the Saints drafted him is an understatement. I said he was my number 1 pick for the Saints if available. And he was, and we got him. So I am very, very excited for this upcoming season. Now we still have the rest of the draft today, tomorrow, second and third round today. See what the Saints do. Also, former LSU players, A.J. Halsey, Gary Nussmeier, probably come off the board today. And then tomorrow you have Harold Perkins, Weeks, Jack Pyron, other guys like that. So it's going to be a busy weekend of NFL draft. Exciting weekend. I know I love to pay attention. I might not watch the whole draft, but, checking it out here and there to see who the Saints get, where the LSU guys go. So, yes, very exciting weekend ahead with the draft. So let's turn our attention to LSU baseball. Now, this week didn't start out great. On Monday, it was announced that Cooper Moore would be done for the season after suffering his tricep injury earlier on in the year. Now, there was speculation that he was trying to make a comeback, even through some bullpen sessions. At the end of the day, him and Jay Johnson decided that shutting it down was the best option and surgery was needed. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is Moore will use a medical red shirt and come back to the Tigers next year with 2 years of eligibility left, which is a big thing because now he still has his draft leverage to play with. If he doesn't get that medical red shirt, I don't know if he comes back, because then he wouldn't have no leverage in the NFL, in the Major League draft. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, so Major League Baseball draft is a money. It's a money. So every team has so much money to spend on a draft class. Now, some guys get picked in the first round, knowing that the team can sign them for less money, and you'll have a guy in the second round that'll get paid more than the guy in the first round, but they pay them more to get them on the club. Now, having college eligibility left more than 1 year is a big thing, because if you don't get what you're looking for when they offer it to you, you can go back to college. Now, once you're a senior and out of eligibility, you basically got to take what they offer. Take Kramer Robertson, for example. He came back to LSU for his senior year and barely got anything when drafted after his senior year because he had no leverage. He had nowhere else to go. He had to take the offer that was given to him by the Cardinals who drafted him. So having that leverage to go back to college is a major part in the Major League Draft. And by Moore getting the medical red shirt, leaves him with 2 years of eligibility left and keeping his leverage. Now, that was one injury. The other injury hurts a little bit more. Yes, Cooper Moore was counted on to maybe come back and provide sorry about that. Provide some help out on the mound. But the big news was on Tuesday announced that Jake Brown broke the hamate bone in his hand and would miss the rest of the year. Jake Brown, who is a junior with 1 year of eligibility left, this injury basically ends his LSU career. Now, I know you can say Warren Morris had the same injury and came back to hit the walk-off home run in the College World Series. Warren Morris also had that injury early on in the year. Not saying that Jake couldn't make it back if the Tigers make a postseason run. I don't see it happening. Sorry about that. So this injury pretty much basically ends his LSU career. And what a career it was. You know, coming in as a freshman after being drafted as a pitcher by the Texas Rangers, I might add. Drafted as a pitcher, coming to college, and becoming an outfielder. He would be a part of that 2024 team that would lose in the regional final in Chapel Hill. And a lot of you remember he did have a misplayed ball in that game. And a lot of fans after the game wanted him to transfer, saying he wasn't good enough to be at LSU, which is ridiculous. I bet them fans that were calling for him to transfer were very, very happy that he didn't, because then he would go on to be a major part of your 2025 national championship team. Big at bats all year. The biggest one coming against Arkansas in Omaha. And then this year, led your team in offense. Started out very hot in the beginning of the year. He was batting almost 400. He did cool down later on in the year, finishing his season with a 309 batting average, 16 home runs, and 49 RBIs. Each year, he would double his home run production. Sorry about that. Yeah, each year. So he had, I think, 4 his first year, 8 last year, and 16 this year. Or maybe less than that. But he at least doubled each year. Let's check the chat real quick. Uncle Randy says, love Cooper Moore coming. Yeah, it's a big thing for him coming back. It gives you your 3 starting pitchers coming back next year with a year of experience in the SEC. What is your favorite sport, Joker? All right, so growing up, I played baseball my whole career. Always been a huge LSU fan. Now, between that and football, it's a tough decision. Watching football on a Saturday is probably, the biggest thing for me. Now, going to the game, baseball hands down. I'm a huge baseball fan. He says, I'm guessing baseball by all the memorabilia. I do have a lot of football memorabilia as well. And I'm going to change it up. Switch here and out. But as right now, we're baseball season. That's what's on the wall. What position did you play? I played catcher. I was a catcher growing up, all the way through high school. So, yeah. So let's get back. Let's get back to the thing. So missing Jake Brown for the rest of the season is a huge thing. Who steps up to fill that void? You look at somebody like William Patrick, who got the first opportunity to fill the right field position Tuesday night. You have Daniel Hardin. You also have Mason Braun, who, in my opinion, should start at first base, just like he has been doing. But if that's something you want to change up, maybe because of a pitching matchup, you put Braun in the outfield. You could put Eddie Yaman at first. You could put Zach York at first. And I know a lot of people say that Zach York has struggled, recently. But that doesn't stop you from putting him in the right situation. If you need Braun in the outfield, it's very, very much that either Eddie Yaman can play first base or Zach York can fill in at first base. So that is an option. Daniel Hardin is another guy that I would love to see more at-bats of. Just putting him into the right situation. But I expect William Patrick to get the start today, just like he did Tuesday. And we'll see how the rest of the weekend goes and the rest of the season goes on who plays outfield. AP in the chat. What's up, AP? If y'all not following Timeouts and Tangents, please do. AP does a great job, especially this weekend with the draft. He's your go-to guy if you want to follow along with that. So we get into Tuesday night. The Tigers would face UNO. Tigers would have 3 freshmen in the starting lineup, all who had RBIs in the game. William Patrick would get the start in right field. He would get a double in his first at bat, scoring John Pearson to put the Tigers up 1-0. Also in the game, Jack Ruckert would go 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs while getting the start at second base. A lot of people remember Jack Ruckert, who made a defensive error against Oklahoma. Again, many, many people saying that Jack Ruckert shouldn't be part of this team. He should transfer after the end of the year because of the error he made. Probably the same fans that were cheering Tuesday night when he went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. People shouldn't post their feelings on social media. I understand you're upset. But these kids are doing something that you're sitting at home watching. A true freshman, I say, that made an error, yes, in a big game against Oklahoma. But he deserves to be on this team. He was recruited to be on this team for a reason, because he is good. Getting back to the game, you also had Omar Cerna in the lineup at catcher, which Omar Cerna has been in the lineup every day recently, and he well deserves to be. He would also have 2 RBIs on the night, going 1 for 4. Mason Braun would come in the game, another freshman, and he went 1 for 1 with an RBI. So that's 4 freshman players with big production in the game. Is that something we can see moving forward? I believe so. With Dardar maybe not all the way back yet, not sure. I would assume Jack Ruckert would get to start at second base again if Dardar can't go. I do expect William Patrick to start in right field. Omar Cerna will be in the lineup, and I expect Mason Braun to be at first. So if you go all out with 4 starting true freshmen on an SEC weekend, that's big for you, not only for this year, but also for your future. We have Mr. Babin in the Bayou in the chat. I appreciate you, buddy, for joining. I look forward to watching your show at 1:30, basically doing the same thing I'm doing, but just from a different perspective. It's always good to watch other people and get their perspective on things. We may talk about the same stuff. We may give you the same stats, but it's the perspective of the giver which changes. And it's amazing to see what different people think about the same things you're talking about. So Tuesday night, Cade Beatty would also have a home run. That's his 7th home run in the last 10 games. He is very, very on a hot streak right now. And he needs to keep that production going to make up for the loss to Jake Brown. Stephen Milam would stay hot after a big weekend going. He would have a 2-run RBI double. Grant Fontenot got the start on the mound, going 4 innings and looked really, really good for the first 2-3 innings before a little bit of a struggle, but also come back to finish out the 4 innings with 5 Ks. Definitely his longest outing as an LSU Tiger, who he's looked very, very good recently. He did have a little bit of struggle at Ole Miss in his start. When I say struggle, he got hit. He didn't walk people. He just got hit. Another strong performance was from Danny Lockenmeyer, who went 1 2/3 with 5 strikeouts. That's back. That's a couple of good outings in a row for Danny Lockenmeyer. Jay likes to go to him out of the pen as a left-hander. Connor Benj would also get an appearance. Let me check something real quick. Connor Benj has been pretty good for you this year, like more than pretty good. I want to check something real quick. Yeah, that's what I thought. So Connor Benj only has 1 walk on the year. He's a strike thrower. And Jay has put him in a lot of big situations with runners on to get out of an inning. And he's been big this year. So that's another arm that can be counted on going forward. The Tigers would win 10-4. They would win 10-4. You know, they started out slow. It was a back and forth game. They got up 1-0. UNO ties it up at 1. Maybe 4-2 UNO. Tigers will come back to tie it and then put up 10 runs and walk. I'm sorry, they won 10-7. I'm sorry, I did miss. Gavin Gizzard gave up a 3-run homer in the 9th to make it 10-7. So the Tigers will win 10-7, which brings us to the weekend series on the road in Starkville to take on Mississippi State. Now, Mississippi State is 31-10, 10-8 in the SEC under first-year coach Brian O'Connor, who took the job in Mississippi State after being at Virginia for 22 years. That's impressive. Very impressive. 22 years at one program to leave, but where he did win a national championship to take the job at Mississippi State. And he would bring a few players with him. One of them, who we're going to see Friday night, and who possibly could be the best arm that Mississippi State, LSU faces this year. We face some great guys on a Friday night. Ole Miss, Kentucky, Vandy, Tennessee, all them guys threw great guys against you on Friday, our first game of the season, the series. Now, the guy we're going to face Friday, my opinion, is the best out of all of them. And that is Mr. Thomas Valanciunas, transfer from Virginia, where he pitched his freshman year, now a sophomore at Mississippi State. He is a true Friday night guy. On the year, he's 7-1 with a 1.81 ERA in 59 and a third innings. Again, 1.81 ERA. This far into a season is impressive. Also has 83 strikeouts in 59 and a third innings and only walking 13. That's very, very impressive. That is a Friday night guy. Opponents are only hitting 195 off of him. So the Tigers have to come to the plate and have production. Don't sit around because he can strike you out. Don't go chase him, but don't go looking for a walk either because he doesn't walk many. Put the bat on the ball, productive at-bats, productive outs, move runners over, score when you can. Let's see. Another guy you're probably going to face the second game. I'm sorry, I lost my spot here. Is Duke Stone. Duke Stone is another impressive arm. He has a 3.59 ERA on the year. He is 6-1. He struck out 70 in 47 innings. He has walked 18, and the opponent batting average is at 250 on him. He gives up almost a hit an inning, so he's a little bit more hittable. Not as impressive stats as the Friday night guy, but he is also very good. The game 3 starter would be Charlie Foster. Now, he's 0-2 on the season. He does have 7 starts and 12 appearances, so he's seen action out of the pen. And as a starter, he has a 5.17 ERA, 34 strikeouts in 31 innings. He does have 16 walks. As a pitching staff, I think Mississippi State has the 3rd best ERA in the SEC. So we've seen how the Tigers fared against Ole Miss, who also has a very, very impressive pitching staff. And Mississippi State is right up there with it. So it's going to be a challenging weekend at the plate for the Tigers. Now, can they get it done? Can they get the production that they need? Absolutely. We'll see if it happens. Now, offensively, State is led by third baseman Ace Reese. If you're a fan of college baseball, you know who Ace Reese is. He's been good for a couple years, pretty much their best player. He's batting .312 on the year with 12 home runs and 47 RBIs. Big production draft. He is a draft eligible junior this year. He's probably going to go high in the draft. Very, very good player. They also have Noah Sullivan, who is batting .336 with 7 home runs and 31 RBIs. As a team, State is batting .316 on the year, which is 2nd in the SEC, 68 home runs, which is 4th in the SEC. So they have a very good pitching staff. They have a very good offensive staff. So they are pretty solid, put-together team all around. Are they beatable? Absolutely. We've seen it this year. They went to Ole Miss and won 3 games, and then they go on a 6-game losing streak in the SEC. That's how the SEC's been this year. Ups and downs by everyone. Except the Tigers. The Tigers have been pretty much down all season in the SEC, only winning 2 series, but they're not out of it. This team can get hot at this time and make a run. Impossible? No. Hard? Absolutely. Can it be done? Yes. I'll go ahead and say now, I'm picking LSU to win the series this weekend. Just a feeling I have, Jake Brown going down, players stepping up, playing for him, playing for their season. Weird things happen when your back's up against the wall. And the Tigers are that. As normal, Kason Evans will start on Friday. William Schmidt will start on Saturday. No, it's not going to change. We do have a TBA for Sunday. And again, that's probably going to be, how your bullpen is used Friday and Saturday. Who comes out of the pen. As long as you don't get down big, you're going to use a lot of your good relievers. And we'll see who's available on Sunday. Now, some candidates to fill that position. Zach Cowan, who got to start last Sunday. But he's also great out of the bullpen. So if you have to use him on Friday or Saturday, I'm for it if you can close the game out with a win by using Zach Cowan. In order to win the series, I believe you have to take one of the two games. You either take Monday, you have to take Monday, or you have to take Friday, or you have to take Saturday. So if you have to use one of them arms to win one of those games, I'm all for it. Another candidate would be Devin Sharon, who last Sunday went 4 1/3 innings, where he would strike out 9. Again, he could start on Sunday, but if you need him to close out a game on Friday and Saturday, you have to use him. There's no holding him for Sunday if you can win Friday or Saturday by using him. Another name that may not be a candidate to start, but don't be surprised if he is Marcos Paz, who lately has been pretty good. Now, not saying that he will get the start, but that could be a surprise candidate in my mind. The big question will be who steps up to replace Jake Brown production-wise. Not saying his position because I expect William Patrick to be in right field. But production-wise, you need somebody like Cade Arrambide to stay hot. You need Derek Curiel, Stephen Milam to step up and be productive. Be your leaders on the team. If you don't know, a lot of people say that this team did not have leadership. Jake Brown is a leader. Jake Brown is a leader on the field. Jake Brown is a leader off the field. And he's still going to be that leader off the field in the dugout, just not on the field. I expect fully to Jake be there, to be cheering, to be leading the guys, to get them hyped, to get the energy all from the dugout. That's the best he can do, and that's all he can do right now. And he's going to do it because that's who Jake Brown is. Now, on the field is a different story. You have to have guys step up to fill that production. Because you're taking a guy that has been in your 2, 3, or 4 hole all year, who leads your team in home runs, RBIs. You're taking that out of a lineup. And you are replacing him with a freshman. Now, William Patrick is a very good player, but I don't think you get the same production from him that you would Jake Brown. There's no one on this team who can really fill that void as a single person. It's going to take a team effort. It's going to take, multiple people coming up big to fill that production. And I believe they have it. Like I said, Arrambide in his last 10 games, 7 home runs. He's been huge for you. Derek Curiel has been great all year. Stephen Milam, as of late, is very hot. We are getting to postseason time. Will the Tigers make it? That's still to be determined. But if you know anything about LSU baseball and Stephen Milam, as the later the year gets, the hotter he gets. And if we make the postseason, watch out, because that's where monster shots. He was, this week named a semifinalist for best shortstop in the country. Without a doubt, he is the best defensive shortstop in the country, above anybody. That's Rock Callaway from UCLA. Stephen Milam is the best defensive player in the country, no doubt. And he's up there with the greatest defensive shortstop in LSU history. Only one I can really see coming close to him would be maybe Alex Bregman. And in my opinion, Stephen Milam is better. But like I said, he is getting hot at this end of the season and looking for big things coming from him this weekend. Omar Sarna has been really good of late. He's going to probably start on Friday night behind the plate, DH on Saturday, and then catch on Sunday. That's a bat you're not taking out of the lineup. Now, is Seth Dardar available to come back? That's, still to be determined. But if you can get that bat into your lineup, that gives you another productive bat. And if he's not, I do expect to see Jack Ruckert at second base. Chris Stanfield, he's been kind of down here recently, but we all know that Stanny is a leader on this team and has the capability of putting together a big weekend. He's not coming out of left field. He is a true leader. He is playing hurt. He is giving you everything he has every game, and that's a true leader. So there's leadership on this team. Who takes it by the reins and leads this team through the end of the season is the question on the field. Again, I am calling for Mississippi State to win this. I'm sorry. I am calling for LSU to win this series in Mississippi State, in Starkville. I was very close to buying tickets just to experience the Starkville atmosphere. I've heard it's amazing. I know it's Starkville, it's Mississippi, but just the atmosphere of that ballpark, I've heard many things. And I came close to going, but decided not to. I will make a few out-of-town trips next year. Don't know where. There's plenty I want to see. But, again, I am calling for the Tigers to win this series and get a little bit back on track to postseason play at the end of the year. So that's going to be pretty much it for me today. I may be back later tonight, maybe joining AP, Timeouts and Tangents for a little post-game action. If not, I may do one tomorrow morning. If you do me a favor, like this video, subscribe, notifications on. I appreciate the people in the chat, Uncle Randy, Babbin on the Bayou, AP. I appreciate you guys for joining in. You could be doing anything on this Friday midday, but instead you're tuned in to me, and I appreciate it. Support those who support you. Each one of these guys support me, and I will support them in anything they do now or in the future. We do have some podcast merchandise in the works, a few shirts with the podcast name. We do have, the logo with the different colors. We have the Saints and we have the LSU combined in the podcast logo. We also have the logo in just Saints colors, the logo just in LSU colors. So it's something that we're working on. We do have a sponsor of the show who is the person for our merchandise, and we will be working to get them advertised on the show. It's a recent thing, so I'm still working to get it all put together. But as a provider of the merchandise for the show, they will be advertised. And if you're looking for, shirts or hats or anything, they will be happy to provide you with that. If you would like to purchase a shirt or a hat, please get with me. There is a few people who will be getting them. The people that I've got stuff from, Mr. Paul Jarrett, did gift me that Jesus One shirt. I also did purchase one myself. So a shirt's coming to him. Miss Alex was kindly enough to send me a shirt of her brand, SEC 316. I can't wait to have it. Can't wait to wear it. She will also be receiving a shirt from me. I'm going to give a couple of them out. I may do, watch the show, get a shirt, something like that, just to bring people in. I know a shirt's not going to make people hoop and holler over anything, but I mean, it's trying to get people into the show is what we're going to try to do. Try to get this out there to grow and make it bigger. And that's what we're going to try to do. So yeah, if you don't mind, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube page, notifications on, follow us on Twitter or X, Tiger Joker 84. The podcast also has a Twitter page, which is T Joker Unleashed. You can follow us on Instagram at Tiger Joker 84, as well as TikTok. So we're out there. Subscribe, share, like. And I thank you for joining us. I thank the guys in the chat one more time. It's much appreciated to see the guys there. The support is what makes you want to keep doing this, and absolutely have that from many people, from AP to Justin Babin to David Billiot to Zach Nunez, Mr. Jim Cross, Paul Jarrett, Walk It Off Talk. All them guys have supported me through all this, and I couldn't be more appreciative for it. They know how much I appreciate it and what it means to me, and I want to thank them. I look forward to many, many more things to come, bigger things, as a podcast. I'm looking to have a few guests on. I got a couple of things in the works. Not going to mention anything yet. But, I have some baseball. I have some basketball guests that can come on. I'm still looking for a couple of, maybe somebody for football to come on just to grow the show. A couple of things in the works. So stay tuned. As soon as I know or something is confirmed, I will announce it. But I want to thank everyone for being here, and I look forward to talking to you later after the Tigers win tonight, hopefully. Go out and do something nice for someone today. Show someone how much you appreciate them. And if anything, just talk to someone. You never know what someone's going through, so don't assume. You don't know how much a simple hello to someone can mean. In this crazy world we live in right now, especially with all the things going on in Louisiana, prayers for that, by the way, if you know what I'm talking about. Acts of violence against people, pray for them. Pray for the families. Do something nice for someone. As I said, just, you never know how much a hello or have a good day can mean to someone. They can change their world around. I know if I was down, how much I would appreciate it. So do that for someone. Again, I look forward to talking to y'all later, hopefully after a win. If not, we still going to talk. We're going to rant. We're going to question. We're going to, do all the things. But it's a lot better after a win. And hopefully we get it. So that's going to do it for me. And as always, go Tigers.